Well, it's Wednesday, and you all know what that means. That means AEW Dynamite. As you know, we just come off from one of the most amazing pay per views in the weekend, Wrestle Dream. But the obvious question does tell, where do we go from here? As you know, we witnessed the debut of Adam Copeland making his AEW debut, and of course, we have plenty other things taking place in this particular day. But also, I did not even notice it's, of course, the fourth anniversary of AEW Dynamite. Oh my god, I can't believe I never forget day one when we first started this channel, when we were watching the Wednesday Night War when AEW started. But it's what's fitting to me today is that today is episode 1200. I can't even believe that was a perfect fitting to do this. I did not create this by design, and it was just uh, of how to say a faith that we just jump into this. However, I did mention in the previous episode we're going to be doing one review, but also we got some news updates to tell what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. So let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host here right here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we review pro wrestling from various promotions from anywhere in the world. Not only here in the States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where wrestling is not big, but is also growing. We also do some other type of videos, such as discuss videos, news update alerts, anything we can possibly do. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. Click that subscribe button. We'll be doing a lot of daily reviews on pro wrestling, and of course, we'll be doing once in a while some discussion videos or do Nagi Sayaka, however we go from here. So let's get started with our only review we're going to be doing, AEW Dynamite. Now, as I mentioned before, it's the fourth anniversary of Dynamite. I have to say, the 4-year anniversary of Dynamite. I can't believe that long it's been there. It opened up with a very fitting interview with Renee Paquette, where we have Jericho and Kenny Omega. If you guys remember clearly, in the very first Dynamite show, they were opposite side from each other. It was the Elite versus what was later the early version of the Inner Circle. But now Kenny and Omega are side by side, and they're set to be in the tag match later. But the greatest thing happened is Adam Copeland, who is of course realizing that everybody who was there, not only just uh, Jericho and Kenny, also read out all four of them who are in fact Canadians. And of course, Adam shook hands with Chris Jericho, and of course, Kenny said that when he made his debut, he was standing on the edge of his seat. So basically, he sees that maybe there is a possibility one day in the future we will see Adam Copeland versus Kenny Omega. But he did tell them that please beat Don Callis because he cannot stand him. So that's a good props for them, though. Now, our opening match is the AEW International Championship. Nick Jackson, who won a four-way match, faces against Ray Phoenix. Now, this is a very interesting match. If you guys noticed, for a long time, Ray Phoenix and, of course, Matt Jackson are more, or no, Nick Jackson are like the athletic brothers out of the respective tag teams. I mean, of course, Ray is Penta's tag known as the Lucha Brothers, and then there's the Bucks. So there's similarities between them. So I think this was a pretty good match. But however, Nick Jackson was very close in pinning Ray Phoenix, but it was in fact reversed by Phoenix to retain the title. But however, there is the possibility we're seeing that Ray Phoenix looks like he's not 100% okay, since he injured himself previously in that Jeff Jarrett match. But we will see how that progresses. If there's anything, I'll put that on the alert. Now, Adam Cole, as you know, went to the house of Roderick Strong. He has no clue what was going on. Apparently, they had something that they wanted to show him. He gave him like this little medical thing happening. I don't know exactly what Roderick Strong is, but it looks more like he's trying to keep Adam Cole away from MJF. But I don't know what the Kingdom are thinking. They're like acting like little stalkers. I don't know. But we'll see what happens until then. Now, our next match, we have Griff Garrison versus an opponent that we haven't seen for quite some time. It is Wardlow. Wardlow came out like, on a mission to destroy, and that's exactly what he did. He destroyed Griff Garrison with the power bomb, or should I say the Symphony power bomb, just like that. I did not expect that, but it's great to see Wardlow back. Now, during an interview with Renee Paquette, that despicable garbage, Don Callis goes out saying apparently Sammy Guevara is not going to be in a tag match. If you guys saw Twitter, Sammy was not happy with the fact that this tag match is happening, but apparently he recruited the services thanks to someone that he worked with. Will Ospreay's boy, Kyle Fletcher, will be involved in the match. Now, our next match is for the AEW World Trios titles. We have Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade facing off against the Acclaim and Daddy Ass. Now, you probably can guess that this match started right away with the Butcher and the Blade, on Kip Sabian attacking the Acclaim since they are not there to play games. But that doesn't mean that the Acclaim knows how to handle business regardless of what these guys think. But in the end, it was, of course, a teamwork between Max and Anthony to put away Kip Sabian, but Bones was the one who picked up the win. I have to say, we're seeing a stronger Acclaim as the Trios champions. Now, our next interview was with RJ, who's conducting interviews with Toni Storm. Toni Storm is being a bit dramatic, going all crazy and stuff. And of course, he goes, "But you're not old." So she goes out saying that she's timeless. I don't know exactly what the deal was, but it seems like she is figured that out. Now, our next promo is a very interesting storyline. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. As you know, a week ago, Jay White declared himself that he is the rightful person to be the next AEW World Champion. However, by the end of last week's Dynamite, he was viciously attacked by 4 men, masked men, but a 5th man shows up wearing the devil's mask. And of course, that mask has been worn by one particular person, MJF. However, MJF addressed the audience back on Wrestle Dream, saying that wasn't really him. Now, Bullet Club Gold are not buying it. They don't believe that. But what I do like is what MJF says. He's always been honest about his intentions, about what he does. He doesn't keep all his misdeeds a secret. He always, we can say he's the good scumbag who doesn't lie. I mean, we know he's a scumbag, but he doesn't lie about anything. But of course, MJF fell into their trap and was attacked by Jay White. And of course, Jay White took the belt, saying that he wants a title match at Full Gear. And then he said that he's going to prove once and for all that MJF is not a rightful champion. He feels that the world needs a real champion like him. But he also doesn't believe that MJF was the one who doesn't believe that MJF did not attack him. But I have that distinct feeling that maybe MJF was telling the truth. But the real question we will get, who could have been the one to attack him? I have that distinct feeling something will show up. But we will get to that point on that. But of course, MJF initiated, said that he's on. But of course, Jay White holds that belt hostage until, I don't know if they're using the same concept what we saw with New Japan, where Evil stole the belt, saying that he is the rightful champion. But to Jay White, he feels that belt has been desecrated by MJF. But we'll see what happens when we get there. Now, we do see an interview with Renee Paquette talking with Orange Cassidy and Hook. Now, many people probably would love to see Hook and Orange Cassidy win the number 1 contendership, but of course, it was basically he respects Hook for being a champion. And if Hook respects him as champion, so yeah, but I was a champion for 11 months. So, it's like they're trying to figure out what's next. How do we go from here? And of course, Renee Paquette did not grab a chip because Hook was being a gentleman. You want a chip? She said no. Now, our next match is Chris Jericho teaming with Kenny Omega once again, taking on Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. And of course, the the one despicable person, Don Callis, joined the commentary. Now, you probably would have assumed that this match would have been fallen in favor once again with the Don Callis family. However, that wasn't the case. It was Kenny Omega with the one wing angel onto Kyle Fletcher winning the match. But however, when Don Callis claims that they cheated, regardless that it wasn't, they were viciously attacked from behind by Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, Hobbs says that he has a new target, and looks like his target is Kenny Omega. So basically, we don't know for sure if he is now a member of the Don Callis family, but they continue their assault on Kenny, and I'm sure Kenny will get his revenge against Don Callis for what's happening. Now, MJF, as you know, he is not in a good mood knowing that he's on his own, so he's been trying to call his buddy Adam Cole when he'll be back, knowing the fact that he is on his own against BC Gold. Now, our last match is Tony Storm versus Sky Blue. Of course, Tony Storm being a bit dramatic, throwing his little, I don't know, it's almost similar what they're doing with Mai Sakurai, but it's not like that, but different. I have to say it's a very interesting segment, but however, Tony Storm was the one who walked out as the winner when she applied the Storm Zero. Now, before the end of their night, Tony Schiavone was in a ring, introduced the newest member of the AEW roster. We're talking about Adam Copeland, also known as Edge. Of course, we all didn't expect this, and we all knew that he was going to address the fan base, why he's here, of course, that whole thing. And then, of course, he calls out Christian Cage. Now, you probably ask yourselves, what is going on? Why did he call them out? It appears that he and Christian has some unfinished business. He wants to have one last final tag run with him. But of course, Christian was not getting into that, so he told him to go F himself twice. But he did tell him that on Tuesday he will be facing against Luchasaurus. Now, what you don't see in after the show, this was an exclusive content you can see on the Twitter page, or as known as X. Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne tried to take out Adam Copeland, but apparently it did not work because both of them got speared. So we will see what happens on Tuesday Wrestling. Now, friendly reminder, apparently we're reigniting the war once again with Tuesday Night War. And we will see what happens. So this is going to be a lot more interesting to see. So right now, let's end things right now with AEW here and move on with news updates. As you know, Bound for Glory is almost coming up next month in November. They announced, of course, Will Ospreay will be in action taking on the walking weapon Josh Alexander. Now, here's the rub on this particular match. If Josh Alexander wins his match against Alex Shelley at Bound for Glory, he will put the Impact World title on the line against Will Ospreay. So we will see how that rolls up. Now, a little interesting matter took place when it comes to WWE loyalists who like to talk a lot of smack about AEW. They think of them that they're nothing but trash, that they should go out of business and all that. But some fans don't believe that AEW is direct competition towards. But however, Dave Meltzer, on the other hand, has a different opinion about that. This is what he said to this person. Boy, you read something into a statement that was never said. People proclaim WWE doesn't consider AEW competition when obviously that's not the case. WWE said in SEC papers, in court papers, where they used the Observer itself as evidence that AEW is competition. Saying something WWE admits itself is hardly taking sides. Now, apparently, people are saying that the AEW is not. Apparently, they're saying certain people need to take sides, AEW or WWE. However, I don't take sides. I just don't like how WWE has been running things for a long time. But I do enjoy NXT. That's obvious to me because you guys see me review NXT a lot. So, yeah. So whoever said that AEW is not competition, he's an Oscar Mayer wiener. Now, interesting developments by the World Wrestling Observer. Billy Starks has been was later revealed that Billy Starks is now all elite. Now we don't know how long this was happened. There was been reports saying that she might have been all elite from since she's been making appearance. We don't know, but we will find out soon enough when that answer comes in. Now, as you know, this coming Sunday is the two-show event from Wrestling Revolver. Amongst them is Revolver Women's Grand Prix. They announced for a non-tournament match between Jamie Senegal versus Zoe Sky. Now, Spark Yoshi Peruso of America has announced for the Rising Heat West show on the 14th. Zaya Brookside will be in action, but her opponent has been announced will be Viperous. Now, interesting developments came around. Julie Hart, and along with her beau, her man, Lee Johnson, they'll be taking some time off. As you know, they'll be getting married real soon. But they even said that they will be taking an extended break for their honeymoon. So, hope they enjoy themselves, and we will see them down the road. Prestige Wrestling has announced for the Decimate the Week event on the 14th of this month of October, their tag team titles will be defended. Their current champions, C4, consistent of Guillermo Rosas and Cody Chun, will defend their belts against the Work Horsemen, consistent of Anthony Henry and JD Drake. And finally, as you know, CML does their own Grand Prix, but they have one with the women called the Amazonias. They announced for certain wrestlers from various parts of the world that will participate. So this is who they have. We have Mei Shiruga. This is going to be her second year participating in this. Sumi Sakai and Makoto. And of course, all three ladies who represent Japan. Johnny Robbie will be there too, who represents the United States. We do have Stephanie Valkyr, who represents Chile. Zux, who represents Puerto Rico. And La Catalina, who represents Peru, will be participating, and there is another person that will be announced later in this particular slot. Now, representing for Mexico, we have Marcela, Lluvia, La Georgita, Reina Isis. And of course, continue more with Mexico, we have Dark Silueta, Shadi, Hera, and Sanili. And also was later announced that Tessa Blanchard will be participating in this tournament. So yeah, I did not expect that, but we will see how that rolls up. So if there's any more information for the CML La Grand Prix de la Amazonias, then we will find out. So I think that's pretty much it right now for our news updates. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode coming up. As you know, we have Thursday, we got Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and MLW. So we will be doing that as well. I decided to make a reserved judgment. I will not be able to see the recent GCW shows, but we'll see how this one rolls up. I haven't been able to see the recent ones with the UK tour, the German shows, that sort of thing. But we will see how that goes. If I'm able to see it this weekend, then we'll be golden. But for now, we'll just stick to what we have. We got upcoming events. I'm still waiting to see when they upload the next Stardom show and all this other stuff. So we'll go from there. But until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.